we were living in Minneapolis, where I was born, and Don had been born in Minnesota too, but we didn't know each other.
Both in the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
St. Paul, Minneapolis.
And so he had moved to Florida when he was 10, and so we'd never met. But my father was a writer, and he had we had a neighbor who wrote a column for the Minneapolis paper, and they were friends. And he moved, the friend moved to Florida and Delray Beach, and so he kept telling my dad, "You should come down here. It's a good place for writers." So he decided to take several months off from his job and go down and spend some time there. So we as a family went to Florida, and we had rented a place in Delray. And my mom was walking along the street in Delray, and she saw this woman she hadn't seen for years that she went to high school with, and they stopped and talked, and this woman said, "Well, I'm visiting this wonderful family. You should meet them." And so that was Don's family, and so we had several get-togethers, beach parties and things like that. And
before the war, you could have a fire on the beach and no worry about submarines.
So anyway, he started writing to me, and I wrote back, and on and off we kept in touch for 6 years and wrote to each other before we ever saw each other again. And then he came up and visited in Minneapolis, and we met, and by then I was 18, so I was old enough to be more ready for a relationship, where at 12, when I first met him, it was, I didn't quite know what to make of it, that he thought I was interesting. You tell him why you thought I was interesting.
Well, you were good looking, and
yeah, but
you played the piano.
Yeah,
and our families were compatible. As you say, our mothers had both known this same person back in Minnesota, but she and her father and sister had moved to Florida, and must have been around 28 or 29, I guess, and sent us a Christmas package from the Central Florida Groves and so on. So that's how this woman happened to be coming down to visit us. She came down from Central Florida to visit with us in Lantana, and that's how they happened to be there. But what we were about to talk about next, I forgot.
What made you interested in?
Yeah, well, it was the music. That's I just wanted him to say it was because I played the piano, because I think that was one of the
your brother played the piano.
One of his big disappointments in our marriage, is because the problem was that I hadn't really wanted to be a piano player, and my brother loved it, and he ended up making it his life work. But I wanted to be outside playing with the kids, and I didn't want to practice, and I felt forced to do this, and so I got pretty good at it, but I never wanted to keep it up. So when I got old enough I didn't have to take anymore, I quit. And so
I'd already been playing the flute for quite a while, and I was happy to see somebody that might be an accompanist and also my future life companion. But as she said,
I'm afraid
I didn't get the.
I let you down.
Yeah, you didn't get the
Your big
accompanist that I was hoping for.
Wow. What a dress.
It was my cousin's dress. My mother's brother lived in Minneapolis also, and they had 4 girls, 4 daughters, and the oldest one got married first, of course, and they were all older than I was, and so they handed that dress down from the oldest cousin to the others, and then it came to me after that. So we're just blessed. We've got both of our daughters here in Hendersonville, and our granddaughters in Asheville. So our son is in Florida, but he gets up once in a while to visit. This is my brother, who is a piano player and musician, and this was his music box, and this is his happy marriage. His first marriage was miserable for 26 years, and finally got divorced, and then when he was in his 70s, he married a woman from Guatemala and had a happy marriage for 10 years, so I was very thankful for that.
Oh, yeah.
One of these funny cards that you get, and you can change the number of years that you've been married, and we've sent it back and forth for many, many years between his younger brother and his wife, who got married the same year we did. And so these are all the times that we've signed it and sent it back and forth. And this 65 was the last time that we put in, but I also put down here 70 years in 2015, Joyce and Don and Ruth and Doug. So that it's
That's pretty
no
cool.
longer in use, but we put all our kids as they were born up here.
My brother was the humorous one, not I.
Yeah.
However, when all my younger brothers and I got together, we always had a lot of fun, and we were, laughing to the
They were
ribs hurt. Being polite and considerate of the other person, and don't insult them, don't criticize them,
appreciate.
appreciate,
But word, appreciate the good things.
But just
Not focus so much on what you don't like.
Just
Focus more on
basic
what you do
respect
like.
and consideration, I'd say, is a.
But
as I say,
communication, of course,
communication is very important.
a big one.
True communication, not just jabby.
Yeah. I think thoughtfulness and tenderness, both of those words, I would say.
I wasn't so good at the spontaneity, but sometimes, if I hear good music, it made me want to dance, and I could dance. But
Do you all
that's
like,
another thing. She liked dancing, and I liked the music of the dance. So
We did take dance
no,
lessons
we
together at
danced
one
together
time.
pretty well.
Having a good time together, fun together.
Well, and
Try-
moving about it, that's another thing that I think is very important for assisting longevity, is just keep moving. An awful lot of people just sit around. We spend too much sitting here watching television, but at the same time, we do try to get out and walk and move. And
and just celebrate life.
well,
Right, exactly. And I think another thing that's important too is let each other have time to themselves. And,
as I said, Khalil Gibran's
yes, I know.
spaces in your togetherness.
Right. This is Don's mother and dad back when they were just about first married, I think. And Don in his uniform and Don there. And this is me in my 30s, I think I was probably there. And this is my dad, and this is my mom. And up here is our son and his wife. That's our son and his wife on his 60th birthday. And this is over here is our son-in-law and our other daughter, Julianne. And this is a dear friend of yours in Miami on her 90th birthday. And this is my sister-in-law, Don's younger brother, Douglas. And we've been dear friends for years and years, so we feel very close. And that's Don's next younger brother, who is the one of the 4 boys that has died, and we miss him very much. Really appreciated that they did for
fellowship.
us. The fellowship had a celebration
It was
for
supposed
us.
to have been secret, but we suspected it was happening because several people kept asking us about, 70 years.
And what's the date of it? So, but anyway, they made an announcement during the service, and then after the service, they had a beautiful cake for us, and